I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Inside the ring. Outside the ring.
That I just happen to be the greatest wrestling machine alive.
It's all here.
What a mega matchup.
Universal Wrestling Podcast.
I like this kind of party, baby.
Yo, yo, yo. New flashy intro. I'm still working on it, Keith.
Oh my.
The music in the background. I'm not I like the music that we use for the YouTube for our intro now, so fixing it a little, but what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Happy, look, Mom, I made it. I made it, Mom. Look
yes,
at me.
Sir. Happy hump day, buddy. What's good with you?
Oof, hump and a half, Jesus. I'm all right, man. How you doing? How's it hanging?
Yeah. Good, man. Good. We were talking off air. We're not, for me, I'm a big sports fan, but I'm not distraught after Eagles loss or something like that. But we're in this World Series, Philadelphia Phillies, and it's just like every day it's like, come on. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's almost here. I'm stoked, man. I tried. I registered for some tickets. I know you did, too. I wasn't lucky. My buddy was, so he's going Monday night.
Dude, I put in, my wife put in, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, his girlfriend, my sister-in-law, her husband, all of us.
Yeah.
Not a damn one. Not a damn one of us.
Yep.
Whatever. It's going to be loud as hell in there either way. It'll be fine.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. I think we should just begin. You want to start, brother?
Let's jump in.
Let's do it. Let's crack open a cold one. Here we go.
Crack open a cold one.
Voila. Mm-hmm. If you smell what The Rock or Ava is cooking. Dude, awesome debut.
Yeah.
I just...
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we were talking off air again. The IWC seems like they always have a problem. Let's hear what you got to say. What are you thinking?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like we were saying before we got started here. It was like I saw a lot of crapping. This is the Rock's daughter. What's she doing with this bullshit? And I mean, to address that piece of the elephant in the room to begin with, I love Joe Gacy. I love Grizzled Young Veterans. There he is.
My man.
I love the Grizzled Young Veterans. I won't call him the dyad, the dyad, the schism, whatever. I love those three guys in general. The Gimmick's crap. And I'll accept that up and down. Joe Gacy's a great talker, whatever. So I'm cool. What it comes down to, she's going to be greener than shit.
Yeah. Hands
down. Greener than the walls behind me and shit, without question. So put her with the three dudes that are going to be able to be like, all right, listen, here's how you wrestle. Here's how we do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a gimmick that's going to set the world on fire. I think a lot of people just had a lot of issues with it being like, well, it's The Rock's daughter. She should be doing something else. Like, you guys forget what The Rock did when he showed up? Because there was fucking die Rocky die chants left and right. He wore the friggin' frilly thing around his neck. It was crap when he started. She's got to go through the same shit.
She's got to climb for the brass ring, and if it's starting here in NXT with this group, I'm with you. I think it's wonderful. I wanted to see her, man. I mean, she was, working her ass off, I guess, to get to this point. She's finally here. We did see a snippet a couple months ago. She was on doing something like Indies. They were doing like a NXT house show, and she had a promo or something, and that caught some buzz. It went viral. I don't really think we saw too much of her, but now every week, I mean, again, we'll go back to the obvious, the elephant in the room. She is The Rock's daughter, but that's it. That's it. She's The Rock's daughter. She's gonna have to pave her way through this, road or this avenue, whatever, of the WWE. And like you said, die Rocky, die. Rocky sucks.
Exactly.
It happens. I mean, go ahead. My bad.
No, it's I was cutting you off. My bad. It's just like everybody is like jumping on that ship, but it's like how many other times in the past have we sat there? How many motherfuckers still nowadays, including myself, are like, man, Charlotte because she's Ric Flair's daughter. Like, let her build it up. I don't say that much about Charlotte now. I have other issues with Charlotte. That's a whole other rant for another day. But like,
it's a whole nother show.
You know, bad example with him. But like David Flair back in the day, that guy was bullshit, and everyone was just like, well, it's Ric Flair's son. Let's give him the U.S. title in WCW out of nowhere and put him all over the place and shit. Like, nah, this is gonna be cool. Let her get in there, let her build a name, and then you have so many options with shit too, because then it's like let this do its thing a little while, and then years she's on the main roster, and have someone come up there and be like, oh, what's up? You're here because of your dad, and she can be like, bullshit. I don't got nothing to do with him. Like, it had nothing to do with him. I scrapped just as hard as he did, so beat me.
I got two things. The first thing is exactly what Justin said. She looks great. The whole debut was awesome, but can she wrestle? That's the question. That's what brings people to the table.
Right.
The head of the table, Roman, Cousins, I mean, it's just in their blood. It's, maybe not. I don't know if it's in her blood. I'm excited to see that, but I don't know. The next thing, my next point is, we always talk about, father, daughter, second generation, Cody, Dusty, right. all those members that are all families, that were in the WWE. This feels a little different. I feel like she has her standards maybe are different than a Charlotte and then a Dusty Rhodes, Cody. Not because of The Rock and who he is. I think it's because he is so recent in our minds.
Right.
Right? Because Flair, she better, step up, and she has.
Exactly. Same with Dusty. Yeah,
with Ava, it's like, it's so recent that we just saw The Rock 2 years ago, like the debut of a SmackDown. We've seen him at some WrestleManias. It's different, right? Or am I just...
No, I don't think you're wrong at all. I think you're right. It's totally different. I think the big thing, too, is that it's like, like you just said, Cody, Dustin, Charlotte, all of them got like held to this standard because of like who their dads were and the era they came up in. Yeah. All the legendary stories of Flair and Dusty going 60-minute Broadways here, there, and everywhere, traveling champion, all that kind of shit and everything. And that was awesome. Yep. And that's like the legacy they had to live up to and stuff. And now I'm not trying at all to sit here and be like, oh, well, The Rock there's no legend to The Rock or anything, because there is. But it's a different legend. It's an entirely different legend.
You know what it is too, Keith? You know what it is too? I think it's the family. It's the bloodline. I mean, she has so many family members that are in the WWE. I don't know if the right word is that standard of, because I don't want to say The Rock's better than Flair or Dusty. They're all the same to me. It's just, maybe it's just so recent and it's so current that she has to step up here. She has to, in my opinion. I mean, it is what it is.
Think it's... Go ahead. I cut you off.
No. I was... Go ahead.
I think it's just, what I was getting at is like, I think it's just like a different thing, because it's like The Rock that we all know and love and have that legendary love for and everything, he did an Iron Man match at least once with Triple H for the title and all. And like, that was cool. But like, if you look back if you sit here and think about your memories and this idolization, this legacy you have in your head of The Rock, the majority of it is, Rudy Poot candy ass, turn it sideways, stick it straight up your candy ass. Yeah. It's all it's the talking. It's the talking and the talking. And that's like a thing where, especially with Ava right now, brand new and everything, I'm not gonna bring any of that into it, because The Rock he was just a money man. He was money, golden tongue, easily. It's fucking silver tongue, platinum fucking tongue. The guy crushed it. And maybe she'll never get there, and that's okay. But like in terms of the in-ring work rate, no disrespect to The Rock, but like,
oh, he wasn't great. Come on.
Look at watch him put on a sharpshooter. It's miserable. It's like when you put a sharpshooter on like the kid and like your fucking neighbor when you were 6. Like legs are just all,
Exactly.
So she can get to those chops easily that he had. His talking chops.
Yes.
That's something you just got to leave alone for a little while, because she's not going to be there right away. No one is The Rock in those terms. The guy just said words and it was like, cool, there's a t-shirt. Cool, there's another one. Cool, there's another one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch, and again, if she does it, I mean, it's so early that we're talking about her, her career and 7-time women's champion and whatever you want to say. It's just, I don't know, it's fun to watch because you don't know. That's another thing with wrestling. You don't know. It's that mystery that you're so curious to what's going to happen next. And this is right there. And again, you may not like the group that she's in, but she has the chance. You can't just throw her the brass ring and say, "You're good, go to the main roster." Not everybody's like that, you know? I mean, handful, right? Like Angle, maybe Brock. I mean, there's a handful of people that just got it, just understood it.
Collegiate and Olympic level wrestlers,
Grounds, exactly. Chad Gable. I mean, the list goes on and on. Who just got it so quickly? I don't know if she. Well, it kind of reminds me of who's the one that won the titles with Gonzalez. Aaliyah, yeah. Aaliyah. I feel like she was in NXT for. Yeah, she was in NXT for so long, and you're wondering why. Why is that? I feel like Ava's, to an extent, I know she's still brand new, but I feel like she was, she's been in NXT for a while, right? I feel like it's
she's been sent to the Performance Center at least for a little while, yeah. But Aaliyah's got to have like some kind of fucking record. We were talking in our kind of Twitter all roundabout there with everyone. I remember she was on that show Breaking Ground on the network. I don't even know if it's still on there, but that was like when Aaliyah was on Breaking Ground. She was her real name with no, not Tough Enough.
Oh, that's shit. That's
there was a show. Yeah, it was like it's not even that long of a series. It's like it was the main focus of it is it's when Nia Jax gets called up from NXT. It's when Apollo gets called up from NXT. Like when they were there, she was there and had been there for a minute already at that point. Because there's a whole like piece with her where they're like, all right, we think we're finally ready to bring you to TV. And they do like the whole, as part of like one of their class things, it's like they like practice their entrance or whatever. And she's got this like kind of gimmick they're working with for her of being like a belly dancer or something. And she does this entrance and it's Regal. Yeah. Regal's just sitting there watching it. Regal's just kind of like, no, that's not it at all. Like, no. Yeah. And then I think she still does do like a dark match for the next taping or whatever. I don't remember how it exactly goes, but yeah, she was in there. She was down there for a while. Yeah.
It seems like I was going to say Aaliyah again. Ava has been too, but I'm not sure. But it's time, and again, I'm excited to see what happens next. Let's get on to the next topic here.
Yes.
Boom, Baron Corbin and JBL
are now
together. Yes, JBL is now, I guess you want to say, the manager for Baron Corbin, and it's been entertaining. It's something that I look forward to each and every Raw because, just JBL's polarizing. He's just one of those characters, one of those figures that says what he wants to say, and he kind of can get away with it. And with this gimmick, it's not really different, right? I mean, he still comes out to the same music. He still has the same moveset. He still looks the same. I thought that was a bad choice, a bad idea. I think he should have came, maybe the attire, maybe the music, just change it a little. It makes me believe it more. I mean, I'm still a big Corbin fan. I love Corbin. And I was a huge fan of JBL. In-ring action, in-ring, WWE, I'm a fan of him. Outside, that's another day and another topic. In-ring, JBL was, phenomenal. I mean, just his character, the heelish ways. It's just something that you want out of a heel. Let's hear it. What do you think of this new / old gimmick of Corbin and JBL as the manager?
I mean, I think he took the words right out of my mouth with it. I was like, I was kind of confused by it all, to be honest. Like from the segment when the limo with the horns pulls up at the back and he gets in and stuff, like whatever that was, 34 weeks ago, month and a half ago, whatever it was. Because it's nothing against JBL. I'm right there with you. I mean, the APA, come on now. I don't know. Like it was kind of like a weird thing for me in general because I feel like you put someone with a manager when they need like a mouthpiece, really. Like that's kind of like the main thing. Scarlett's a little bit of a different situation because Scarlett doesn't talk and Cross can talk. So leave that one aside. But I mean, everywhere else, Zelina and Andrade,
yes, it makes sense.
That's like the most recent one that's popping in my head. Bivens and anybody, because I love Malcolm Bivens or Stokely Hathaway now.
That's another
love
good
him.
point. Yep.
So that's whatever.
Well, even,
they can talk. I loved him with Diamond Mine. That's a whole other. Could go off on that. But anyway, I never thought Corbin was like a terrible talker that needed a mouthpiece. And it's cool. I like the pairing. I'm interested in it. But then I'm right there, like with you said, is like, if you're going to do this pairing, like, let's lose the fedora, you weirdo.
Something, man.
Change the music. You're not, I guess you're still happy, but we're not calling you Happy Corbin anymore. We're calling you Baron Corbin again. So what's the slot machine for? It doesn't matter that you won your money back because it doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah, that's the disconnect. Give me. Yeah. I don't want the lone wolf. I mean, if you're gonna do it, yes, I'll take that any day. But obviously, you want to do something a little different, freshen up the gimmick, and that's not what they did. And I love JBL and I love Corbin together. I think that's great. But I'm with you. I think it's not a missed opportunity just because this is great. I love both, so I'm getting what I want. But maybe JBL could have helped somebody else, maybe been a manager for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see it. I understand it. I enjoy it. I like it, but I don't know. It disconnect.
I'm trying to withhold a little bit of judgment on it, just because, like, I think there's a huge opportunity in that. I don't know if you or if anybody listening to this or anything has ever checked it out. Corbin's he has like his WWE Instagram, and then he has like not a private one, but it's like his like personal one.
Oh shit!
And his personal Instagram, is literally just all like bourbon, watches, cigars, and meat.
Yeah.
Do that. Yep. Do that guy with JBL. Like, do like
exactly.
this. Like, do like the modern era like hipster flair where he's just like, JBL is going to talk for me because I'm too busy wearing my fucking awesome ass new watch I just bought and smoking a stogie to the ring, and I'm gonna go have some bourbon in the back when I'm done. You know, like just the new age kind of classiness. I don't need Corbin or JBL cutting Space Mountain promos for him and stuff like that. But do it. You know, give him that sort of thing. He wears the vest and shit and stuff already. Just make him look nicer. He wore that the vest and the dress shirt and everything when he was Constable Corbin, whatever the fuck that was. But just turn it back to that. We know he can wrestle in nice clothes. Let him wrestle in nice clothes and be a nice clothes man with cigars and whiskey or cigars and bourbon and steaks.
You know what they say too. The best gimmick is yourself, just turned up to what, like 100, and that would go so well with JBL. Texan, blah blah blah. You could go on and on. He loves that kind of stuff, and I feel like that it would just mix so well. And again, we're bitching and moaning, we're nitpicking, but that's just because we love wrestling. At the end of the day, I'm happy with it. It is what it is, as Charlie Manuel once said. That's all you can. That's all you can do is just watch and Phillies baby. Phillies. I feel like me and Justin here. We usually don't have the same thoughts, but it seems like with a bunch of our topics, we're on the same page here.
Justin's the man. He's got it. He's got it to the hair there. It is. That's exactly what it is, man.
Exactly.
It's Happy Corbin with a manager, and
he doesn't
wear Hawaiian shirts anymore. He wears a black vest. Like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Neat. What else?
Yeah.
So
again,
we'll get there. I got faith that it'll get there. You know,
it's 2 weeks.
I'm glad he's still. I'm really just glad that Corbin's still going around. I feel like when Corbin first came up, there was a lot of bullshit talking around him of people of you can't wrestle and this and that and the other, and like I feel like he was one of the first ones from like that indie class from NXT that got called up, and everyone was just like, dude, you were a football player, like you're not our indie darling. We don't want to like you because of that. And he just like he's such a good heel because like he heard all that and was just like, yeah, fuck you, I don't care. I don't give a shit. You're right. I wasn't indie darling. I played football like fucking real men do and shit. Like he leaned into it so good, and like he could do all that again with JBL now too to get even more heat on him and stuff. It's gonna be beautiful. Just got to give it a little bit more.
And I think you have a great point too. When he was brought up from NXT, it just seemed like, okay, this is just another guy. It wasn't like a KO. Oh shit, it's Seth Rollins and Big E. Yeah. Wow, I can't wait for this. It was okay. It's your turn. It's your time. Let's see what you can do. And I think that's why people look at him that way. It's hard not to because, it's kind of like, I don't want to say Andrade, but there's a few NXT guys that were brought up and it's just like, okay. We'll see what he can do. They're in NXT. We love them, but can they pan out? Can they grab that, brass ring?
He's almost like that first like legit NXT as a promotion brand version of like the Miz from back in the day. Like, when the Miz came around, everyone was just like, fuck this guy, fuck this reality star that thinks he can do this shit that we love so much. And he was just a big fan. So it was cool. And like he got into it. And the Miz is great now. The Miz has turned it all the way around. Miz is one of I'll fight anybody on that one. I love the Miz and all the a lot of the work he's done throughout his whole time. And I think Corbin was the same exact way. I think Corbin was he came up in this class through NXT that was, your Owens, your Zayn, your all those indie darlings that got called around.
Exactly.
And stuff,
so you look at
love all
way.
of them.
Yeah.
I love all of them. There's nothing wrong with any of them. But then there was Corbin who was just kind of like, well, I'm coming from this totally different background, but I can do this. Like the Miz did, where I have this totally different background, but I can come up and I can do this. He's been great. He's been a great presence on TV. Yes. Outside of, I wasn't crazy about King Corbin when that was a gimmick. Like I said earlier, the Constable Corbin thing was weird too, but the guy's got a fucking really cool moveset. I think Deep Six is really friggin' cool, even though it's essentially just Cena's like lift up setup for the 5-knuckle shuffle, but like it just looks cooler because he throws you and grabs you and spins your ass around and shit. The End of Days is dope. I love that as a finisher. I was going to
ask you what that. That's
a killer finish. That's amazing. When he hit Becky with it too, with that mixed match. Oh man, the guy's great. Just got to give him time, like we said.
Yeah, and I think who was it? Only Roman kicked out of that. There's like a stat. One of his finishers. Yeah, that's someone. Yeah, I think it was Roman. But Dami,
we'll review that one off there.
Dami, what's up, boy? How you doing? This is for you.
Philly's looking for a quick response. Hoskins hammers the ball. Left center field. Reese Hoskins. Redemption again.
Yeah, buddy.
Oof.
Redemption again, man. Can't wait. Any last thoughts on this one before we get to the next topic?
Nah, we can dive into the next one. I can talk about Corbin all night. Big fan.
Let's do it. Bianca Belair, baby. Now let's dive into this because this is first her storyline with Becky was phenomenal. I mean, just long-term story booking right there at its finest. Do that thing at what was it, SummerSlam? 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it was.
Yep.
Boom. And everybody's down and out. Oh my God, how can you do that to Bianca? What? A year and a half later, boom, she is the champion. But I think the issue is the competitors. I think it's the opponents. I don't think she has someone that can step up like Roman Reigns. He's having the same issue. They're bringing in guys for Roman, like Logan Paul's. I don't know what you do with Bianca, and I love everything about her. I love what she stands for. She is the role model for any little girl, hell, any little boy. But I don't want to say it's getting stale, but something is not right here, and I'm not sure what it is. What do you got, Keith?
I mean, I got pretty much what you just said. That's really like the tough part is that I feel like in general.
But what is it? That's the question.
I really think it's just that the women's division in general in WWE is kind of hurting for some heels a little bit. Because like when you really think about it, like who were the heels? Drew was the only one to kick out. Thank you, Justin, my man. Love this guy.
Always on top of his shit. Justin,
always on it.
Love you, brother.
Christ, making us look like a bunch of fucking chumps over here.
Yeah, what did I say,
anyway.
Roman? Jesus.
Roman.
Yeah. So what's the issue? Let's hear it.
I think there's not really like a ton of like, there's not a ton of depth with like the heel women. There's a fair amount of heel women, but a lot of them are either on the shelf or they haven't been built the right way. Shayna being a prime example that we talk about anytime any of us are all together talking. Yes. That's like. In years, in the past many years, like such a huge ball drop. The girl was a killer in NXT. I remember watching. I remember being the one to like start the Shayna Baszler chant at Takeover Philly when her and Ember Moon went at it for the title, and just she was a killer. I loved her in NXT, and then they brought her up, and Vince was just like, "You don't have implants. You're not wearing makeup. What the hell is this?" Yeah. And like that was it. Like that was the end of it. Like she just got shoved right down the card, and it was in that endless stupid ass tag with fucking Nia. Like, oh my god, just miserable. But like, sorry, blacked out there. No. But like, it comes down to just like it's the heel women. They're there. You got your Carmella. You have Shayna, Bailey, Damage Control now, and everything. But which Bianca's kind of going up with, and that's good. But it's I feel like that has a pretty short shelf life coming up here, because I feel like that's all just been building to War Games, which is fine. Yeah. I'm totally for that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But you got to start. I don't know where it is, who it is, when it is, or why and how, but you got to start building more of those heels back up. Bring me Shayna in, start having Shayna kill people. Where the hell has Ronda been since she won the title? Like, I feel like I haven't really seen anything or heard anything about anything with her since she won the title. Liv's been on TV a bunch still. Yeah. But like, now
she'll do like backstage stuff, but she hasn't wrestled in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Nikki's back now as like crazy Nikki instead of Nikki ASH, so that's cool. I'm into that. Let her.
Well, why do you think they did that?
Maybe that's what I mean, and maybe that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
I think. I mean, barring something else, we're going to end up talking about in a little bit here. I think what it's going to come to is the thing none of us really actually want, but is going to be shoved on us, is that Charlotte's going to come back here sooner or later, and she has to be a heel because face Charlotte blows. So she's going to come back as a heel. She's going to be the big one to go after Bianca, and she's going to win again.
Yeah.
To have whoever else build up to start chasing her. Maybe we get heel versus heel, Bailey and Charlotte, which would be cool with me. Yeah. Or I know Becky's. I don't know when Becky's due back, but she's due back sooner or later here. So maybe Charlotte gets back beforehand, takes it off Bianca.
Yeah.
Becky wins the Rumble, goes against Charlotte again. Face Becky goes against Charlotte. Who knows? But I think that's what the answer is going to end up being. Is it's going to ultimately end up being Charlotte, barring. Something else we'll talk about in a little bit.
And you think that still to this day with Triple H in charge? Because that's where I have a little disconnect. I think she might be going to SmackDown for some unfinished. Well, not unfinished. Did she beat Ronda? No, Ronda beat her. So maybe she goes back to SmackDown. I just don't know. I feel like Triple H knows his shit. I think he understands it. I know that Vince probably hasn't seen a movie in the 21st century, so he's a little out of touch with that. I'm a big Charlotte fan. If she does it, then I'm okay with it. I love it, but I don't think that's what Triple H has in store for us. Then again, I don't know, and it would make sense for Charlotte to do that just because. How many times has she done it in the past? I mean, the list goes on and on. The other thing, too, is a lot of people are talking about Rhea being the next one. And Dom, I think a lot of people on Twitter, wrestling fans, want that. Absolutely. I don't know. I feel like it may be the next best thing. But I don't think so. I just don't know who it. I don't know, because I want to say Bliss, but Bliss, she did that whole thing on Twitter, right? She blocked her cover photo is black, her profile picture is black, right? Was that her still there? I know Liv and Seth did that after. So maybe it was Extreme Liv Rules, and Seth, but I don't know if I don't know. So if maybe it's not. Bliss did it too. Yeah, I don't know, but I just feel like she has a connection with Bray. Maybe she does something with Bray. I don't know. The disconnect for me is that I can't believe in Bianca. And that's sad to say, but it's the truth. I can't believe that she could, win that match when she needs to. Main event of WrestleMania. She did, but I just feel like... Go ahead.
Such a good match. No, it was a good match. I was going to say she did in the main event of WrestleMania. Her and Sasha.
Well,
that was
then...
Still, that's like top up there. That's one of my top 8 of all time. That was a great match.
I'm talking right now. What is the disconnect? And I don't know. Maybe I'm not a little girl. Maybe I'm 31 years old and I want to see my champion kick ass. And she's
Wait a minute, you're not a little girl?
No.
When did that happen?
Exactly. Yeah. Nicole. Fuck. I don't know. It might be the age range. It might be me. It might just be I want a badass like Flair because I love Flair. But then again, I'm going to go back to what I said. She's a role model. She is exactly what you want for a champion, for a WWE superstar. She does so much for Tennessee, for her hometown, for whatever charity they, have each and every month that they're promoting. I don't know. It's tough, man. I just don't know what it is and who it is. I don't know who's next, and I don't know why I can't. Maybe it's just me. Maybe there's just a disconnect with me.
Well, I think it's that age-old thing that, like, it's kind of the same thing that plagued the yeah, I know. Dom, I'm mind blown, man. I don't know if I'm going to be on here next week. Who knows? But I think it's the same kind of thing that ended up happening with Hangman's title reign, where it was like the build up to it, the story leading up to him actually getting it was like,
the chase
so much better than the chase was so much better than the reward. And I think with Bianca, it was the same way because of how great that Becky storyline was. Like, Becky came back, knocked her off this perch that she was on. At that time, she was still over with it and all, because it was kind of like we were still in that honeymoon phase. She wanted it after that awesome match in Mania, kind of just doing her thing, defending here and there, building it to there. Awesome. And Becky came and just knocked the wind out of all of us, and we're like, what the shit, man? And then we got back to here now, built it back up. She chased, she fought, she kept fighting, chased again, fought again, everything. She got it back. Awesome. And now it's again, we're just kind of like, all right, that honeymoon period is over. The pop was there when she won at Extreme Rules. I'm not going to take that away from it. It wasn't like that was a terrible thing, but I called Bayley in our predictions. I thought that was the time. Let Bayley take it. Give her a brand new heel to really be like, you motherfucker, and just going after her. And they didn't pull the trigger there, and that's fine. But then that's why I feel like now we're looking in this situation of just like, well, what is it? Who is it? When is it? Yeah. And I think it's just getting to that point, like we kind of been saying, but like not really saying and kind of beating around it. It's like, I hate to put it this way because I don't want anyone fucking coming for my head for it or anything, but it's almost like Bianca's kind of getting to be that, like, LOL Cena wins era again, where it's just like, she's the champ. She's the happy one. She's got the fit, and that's great for her as a person. Awesome. She kills it. Like you said, she's in all the charity stuff. She's doing all like that positive stuff. But I think that also comes back around to that problem, like what I'll bring up again. And like anytime we're doing any of these discussions, whether it's you and me, we're in the group with people and stuff, is it's like, there's like such this struggle, not even in just WWE and AEW too, where it's like, bro, like you can have women build up and having feuds and having stories and stuff that don't have to be for the belts. Like you can still have Bianca be in the spotlight and be this hero and stuff to the girl and not put her in a fucking superhero outfit like they did with Nikki for some unknown reason, even though I think that was her idea, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like she can still be this role model and this hero and stuff and not have to be fighting and beating down for the championship at all. And like with Rhea, I'm with that idea. Let's get it built up and have Rhea take it from her. That's cool. But there's a part of me that kind of feels like Judgment Day, I guess, as a whole, but more specifically, Rhea right now is like at this plane where she's just like almost above championships.
And she doesn't need that.
Exactly. She's just like, I just fucking body slammed Luke Gallows last week. Like, shut up. I don't give a shit about your fucking leather, Velcro, and, metal. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I got my little Dom boy on a leash, and I'm just gonna come out and flex and just be everyone's daddy.
Yeah, it's not her time to be the champion, and that's okay because, like you said, she's killing it right now. You can't just switch the storylines because she's the only one left. I mean, I'm looking at the roster now. You got Asuka, you got Bliss, you got Becky, you got LeRae, Carmella. I mean, Dakota Kai, she's a champion. I don't think that would happen. Your girl, Doudrop, maybe. I don't know where she's been. Nikki,
she's another one. She's got to be the next one. I need her to come back, not out to Doudrop music and just beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah,
and just be like, I'm Piper Niven again.
Yeah, I don't know, but again, we could talk about this all night.
I think it's just with Rhea. This would be the last piece I say on it. I think it's like I think it's got to be a thing with Rhea. It needs to be for Rhea to get the belt, or for her to go after the belt. I should say it should be something where like whoever the champ is at the time, heel face, whatever, doesn't matter because Rhea is mommy. Yeah. Like the champion needs to like pick the fight with her to get her to just be like, I was letting you just do your thing and letting you all just live in my world because I had something else going on. But now you just fucking poked the bear, and now I'm going to come eat your children. Yeah. And then that's when she goes and starts challenging and going to take the championship. As it is now, she's kind of, I still stand by. It's like, I know that like the whole Judgment Day thing is like, there's no leader. It's like, no, Rhea's the leader. You're all bending to her will, and she's the one that runs the fucking show. So like she's controlling the masses as it is. So it's like someone needs to get it to her to get her attention to come after them, because right now she's above everything else.
Yeah, and I think that plays into it as well. I think we don't know. I mean, obviously the fans, Rhea is the leader, of course, but not knowing, and they've never said it, giving her the title, you would assume she's the leader. I don't think that's what that group's about. I think it's, all for one for all kind of deal there. And Rhea is not in the position. Of course she could defeat, and it's believable. She could defeat Bianca. I could believe that. I could love that. I want that. It's just not her time. It's not her turn. I don't know who's next, but I think, at the end of the day, Bianca is great. She is wonderful. She's what we want. She's what you need. She is, the champion for a reason. She is the people's champion. I mean, everybody loves her. She's universal. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of, she's that kind of person where anybody can fall in love with her, not because of her looks, her athletic ability. It's just her personality. I mean, you see her, you smile. I mean, 31 years old. I'm not looking at her ass. I'm saying, I'm happy. I'm happy that she's walking down the aisle with that title. And again, we could go on and on, but let's get to the next segment. Let's entertain the idea, shall we?
Entertain the idea.
Something's got to give here.
Yes, sir. Let's entertain the idea. The OC, they're teasing us. Somebody needs to go one-on-one with Rhea. Somebody needs to stand up to Rhea. And in the WWE world, a man can't hit a woman. In reality, too, that shouldn't happen. But in the WWE, in the world of the WWE, we don't see that often. And it seems like they're teasing. Talk to me, Keith. Who do you want? How do you like what has happened now since the OC has returned? They are together. They are going one-on-one with the Judgment Day, I think, at Crown Jewel. That's our last segment. Yeah, the OC versus the Judgment Day. So that's going on. And it seems like, when is Crown Jewel? Let's see, because they have some time left.
Next weekend?
November 5th. So they have some time. Maybe next week, maybe on SmackDown. We'll find out. But it seems like, if I'm wrong, that there's going to be a new member of the OC, and it's going to be a female. Talk to me, brother.
They're alluding to that hard. So this is one of those. This is what I was talking about earlier with just before here, talking with Bianca. So I think, this is one of those where it's like I got what I want to happen, and I got what I'm pretty sure is going to happen. So to get the obvious one out of the way, what I'm pretty sure is going to happen, it's going to be Charlotte. I get the whole bringing her back to get the SmackDown and everything, and maybe she gets brought back over to there. I know Bakley's going to have our heads because we're talking and kind of ignoring the brand split. But I think she's coming in first here. She's going to help out with them. Yeah. She's got the history there with she has the history with Rhea. She took Rhea out of the Rumble that year when the last three were her, Bianca, and Charlotte. Yeah. Charlotte took her out. And then Charlotte won the NXT title from Rhea. Like, they got their history there. Rhea never got her fucking comeback for that, which is still, such a horrible thing in my mind. But she has the history with Rhea already. She has the history with AJ. The last time they did the mixed match challenge, it was AJ and Charlotte. They were a team. So, like, they got the history there. I feel like she makes the most sense in my mind. That is, to me, what I think is actually going to happen. Who I want it to be, I feel like this would be a really great place to slot Shayna in and start building Shayna up again. I think that'd be perfect. Because Shayna is such a killer, I would love to see. I don't even know if we have seen it yet, but I would love to see Shayna and Rhea one-on-one. Just, good Lord.
Yeah.
So, I would like Shayna, or maybe even Doudrop, but change her name, make her Piper Niven again. One of those two. They're my ones, Shayna or Piper. But it's probably going to be Charlotte, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think if it was still the Vince regime, I think it would be someone like a Lacey Evans. I really do. I really think he wants to push her. You saw what they did with her with all those, emotional promos. It was just, too much for me.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, if it's going to happen, and I don't think it is, Rhea becomes champion, and then you do something like a Ronda, but it just, that doesn't make sense because of the brand split, excuse me. But for me, what I want, again, I'm a Charlotte fan. I want Flair. It just makes sense to me. I mean, again, it's on Raw. What I said earlier, I think she may be, going to SmackDown and finishing the unfinished business with Ronda. I want it. I want it to be Charlotte. But if we're being realistic, someone on the Raw roster, I mean, you got to go someone like Doudrop. You got to go someone like Nikki Cross, somebody like that needs that opportunity. That would, you put them in with just AJ Styles alone, and they're elevated. You don't even have to wrestle. She could be in the ring with AJ, and she's already been elevated just because of his name. I don't know who it's going to be, but I would like to see someone like Charlotte. But again, brand split, we don't know. I mean, we do see it every now and then that someone from Raw is on SmackDown and vice versa. Someone's on SmackDown and appears on Raw. So I don't know what the deal is with the brand split, but I mean, what you said too. I mean, it could be, your heart says you want Piper, but it's making more sense that it's someone like a Flair or someone. I just don't know. But again, this is what, is great about professional wrestling. You don't know the mystery. You're curious. Who is it going to be? It makes sense if it's someone like Shayna. She's a badass. All three of these guys are badasses. But what do you got? Let's hear it.
No, I think it's like what makes it so tough is like, like I'm saying Charlotte. I also like I don't hate Charlotte by any means. I don't want to come across like I'm some hater on her. She gets a lot of screen time. She gets a lot of titles and all that stuff all the time. Not saying it's undeservedly, but like you got to build a lot of people all at the same time too. So like spread that love around a little bit. And it's not. I don't think it's her fault either. No one's coming up to like if you're a pro wrestler and Vince or Hunter walks up to you and is just like, hey, we're gonna put the strap on you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like,
no.
Well, no, he actually deserves it more. Yeah. Like, no, you're gonna be like, okay, you got it, boss. No problem. Like, I'm gonna do what you want to do. You're my boss. It's not her fault. And she's good. She's a believable champion. She's good. So that's fine. I think the big thing with this, like why I've been kind of lingering on her as being like the one is because it's like it's tough to think about who on the women's roster like fits with these guys. Like it's so like with the Judgment Day, I mean, granted it took Rhea having to like dye her hair and stuff, but like once she had the black hair, you just look at her and you're just like, oh yeah, she's in the Judgment Day with the goth people. Got it. Yeah, like she fits there. Done. There it is.
Exactly.
And it's like look at this picture, and it's just like, all right, you got like these kind of older dudes. Two of them are bald. One's got a soccer mom haircut, which is fine. No judgment there. But like the only woman that's ever had any kind of interaction with them in any sort of notable capacity at any point in time was Charlotte, because her and AJ teamed in the mixed match. So like, okay, she can, I'm not, that's what I mean. Like I put it like it was going to be a downer if it is Charlotte. I don't think it's going to be a downer. It's just, that's like the obvious one to me that it's going to go to.
Yeah.
And whereas I think it could be more beneficial potentially to a Piper Niven or a Shayna or a Nikki Cross. I've heard some speculation too that it's potentially like people are leaning toward either Nikki or like Liv because they both have that history with Rhea. But I think, I mean, I would, if you're going with one of those two, I would lean more toward Nikki, because Nikki with the gimmick change now, you can get more out of it. It's more believable. If it was Nikki ASH going in there, it's just like Rhea's beaten you like 100 times already at this point. What are you doing here? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, you got the new improved Nikki in who's crazy and stuff. Yeah, put her with him. That would work. I'm into that. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be Charlotte, which is going to be pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the issue I have is if it is Charlotte, why? She doesn't need to be elevated. She is a Flair. She is Charlotte. She doesn't even need the last name with her, what she's, what she has done, what she have Jesus, what she has done in the past. She doesn't even need to be called a Flair. She's just that damn good. So if you look at it, who needs to be elevated? Again, I'm going to go back to Shayna. She's on Raw, right or no? I don't know.
I honestly couldn't even tell you at
Justin,
this point.
Tell us. Come on. Hurry.
Yeah. Our fact checker.
I'm looking. I don't. Well, then again, Charlotte's on SmackDown, Liv's on SmackDown. You know, like
that's what I mean. Like that's what I was kind of getting back to is like the brand split. I don't want to keep saying it because I don't want Baker to show up at either one of our doors and kill us. But like, it's not that the brand split doesn't matter anymore, but it has been for how fucking long now. Such like it's like a literary device almost. Like it's literally just a thing. They just had the whole thing. There he goes. Thank you, Dom. Like they just had the whole thing with Ray, like where he was just like, I can't stay on Raw anymore because I don't want to fight my son. So like Triple H made a contract to move me. I go, we're like, okay, so just do that. Just do that for everybody. Who cares? It's a stupid device, but the fucking brand split's fucking stupid. Like, cares? Yes. They're all wrestlers. Just wrestle.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Any last thoughts? You want to get on to the next segment here?
Yeah, no, we can talk about that all night, so we should move on.
Yeah, let's watch this one more time.
Billy's looking for a quick response. Hoskins hammers the ball. Left center field. Reese Hoskins, redemption again.
Yes, man, beautiful.
I got the official email that I did not get selected to purchase World Series tickets.
Oh, they even send you that?
Yeah. Because I got all stoked. My brother-in-law just texted just being like, they just put the official word out like a half an hour ago. So I checked it. It's like, thank you for registering. Unfortunately, you were not selected.
What time was that?
7:15 or 7:11.
All right. I haven't got it yet. Come on, baby.
You might be good.
Come on.
But anyway.
Yeah. Let's get to the next topic here. Crown Jewel 2022. The build-up. As you can tell, the OC and the Judgment Day, they are really pushing the Crown Jewel thing here. I'm really stoked for a number of these matches. You got Reigns and Paul. It's just a mystery to me. Again, as a wrestling fan, Logan Paul, he was good when he went one-on-one with, who was it? It was Corbin? No, it was McAfee. Who was it?
Logan Paul went one-on-one with The Miz. It was The Miz. Because they tagged with him. Yes, they teamed at Mania, and then Miz just skull-crushing finale him at the end for no reason. So then he came back and fought The Miz at
phenomenal
SummerSlam.
Yeah, so that is intriguing. Again, we got the OC versus the Judgment Day. They're really pushing that for Crown Jewel. And then we got one of the matches I want to talk about. Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. I mean, in my opinion, I haven't seen much of this when it comes to promoting this match, but I just can't wait. I feel like this is what we wanted for a long time, and I know we're talking Crown Jewel pretty early. We're not talking predictions. We're just excitement level. Let's hear it, Keith. What do you got?
Oh yeah, so with the ones we've mentioned here, Logan Paul, Roman, I'm very interested in it too. I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a nice test for Logan Paul with him actually like having a contract that he signed on and everything and being full time and whatnot. It's a good test for him. It's going to be a good one to see how he works with, not that Roman is a bad wrestler, but like, when you got the Miz in there, who's like a solid hand who can help carry you to a good match and stuff like that. And you're in there with, because when he tagged with the Miz, he was in there with fucking Rey Mysterio. Like, Mysterio is one of those guys that you can give him a chair and he'll have at least a 3-star match with it probably.
Yeah.
Like crush
Good
it,
point.
So like he's had that help. And again, not to say that Roman's not someone that can't lead him that way, but Roman's got his own set and Roman's like a fucking heel, a monster boss heel. So it's going to be cool to see that. That's going to be a good one. Do I think he's winning? No chance. But it's going to be cool. Judgment Day, OC, all for it. It's going to be a good one, especially if we do get Shayna or Charlotte, whoever it's going to be going against Rhea. It's going to be a solid one. Bobby and Brock, fuck. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's going to be two big men slapping 6 shades of shit out of every slab of meat that's been there. It's going to be awesome. they're gonna just like it's ultimately like, you know, I'm not someone that watches UFC or MMA in general like at all. I mean, I'm, you know, peeling the curtain back. I'm all about my fake wrestling instead. That's just what I like. But like I am someone who does like a style like a Thatcher or like a Dragunov who like really lay in the snug ones, and Gunther, and like laying in those like snugger hits. Like I like that style, but I like it in my choreographed wrestling ring. So like having Lesnar and Bobby, who both have that MMA background, you know, neither one of those motherfuckers are throwing a worked anything at either one of each other. Like no one's throwing a worked anything. It's going to be, you're going to be seeing like straight up like shoot suplexes where it's like, no, I'm not going to watch your neck. I'm going to fucking throw you over my fucking shoulder. Piss off. Do it again. Let's go. Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. My only worry and hope for the match is I don't want a goddamn break through the barricade spot. That's all I want.
Mike,
do whatever else you want.
That one.
Do whatever else you want. It's just... Kyoto said it. I've been thinking it for like, Christ, 6 months. Every time there is a bigger individual in a feud with another somewhat bigger individual, ringside barricade breaks. The timekeeper's area gets speared, thrown, whatevered through. And it really loses its luster. So stop doing it. Don't do it in Saudi Arabia. But they probably will because the Saudi people want to see it. And that's fine. It's not going to take away from the match. That's just the only thing I don't want to see. Otherwise, this is going to be the kind of match that like gives a kid going through puberty more hair on his balls to watch. Yeah. Like it's just going to make you more of a man to watch it. It's going to be great. Yeah. And the other thing too, it's what is it, Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon? Like come on. They're always who doesn't love time. That? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like they're promoting the actual event, but they're not really promoting a storyline. I mean, the OC and the Judgment Day, I feel like they're mixing the Crown Jewel premium live event into that storyline. Yeah, into that storyline. But I mean, I haven't heard about Drew and Cross in a cage match. I mean, Braun and Omos. I mean, I could care less, but it'll be interesting. It's good that it's on Saturday. I'm stoked for that. We'll do some predictions probably with the boys in a couple of days. But I don't know. My excitement level, if I had to do a scale 1 to 10, probably a 5. I think I'm in the middle. I think the Brock match and Brock and Lashley, that's the match I want to see. The Logan thing, it's a mystery, and it's, really cool as a wrestling fan to not know because we know so much. But do you care? Right? Like that. That's how I feel to an extent. It's going to be fun. Logan Paul is an ass kicker. I mean, sort of like McAfee. He took to it really, really well, really, really quick. It's cool to see that, but I want Roman to go up against a challenger that, meets the standard of a Roman Reigns. Again, we don't know. Sort of like Bianca. There's not that, wrestler. There's not that the competitor that can go one-on-one with Roman and make it believable. Drew was, I don't know, but it's fun. Money, I know. Money talks, Keith. Logan Paul brings in the views. Absolutely. The TikTok views, the YouTube views, the ratings, not so much. Yeah. But the views, I think nowadays, is what most companies look at. The YouTube views, the TikToks, the social media. And, And that's exactly what the Logan match is. It's not... I'm with you. It's going to be... So I'm like right there with you. Like if I got to give it a level on a 1 to 10 of excitement for the event as a whole, I'd probably call myself I'd say like a 6. 3 of those excitement points are just for Brock and Bobby. The other 3 are, split between Judgment Day and, you know what I mean? Like it's up there. I'm right with you. From the time Strowman came back, people started putting fan pictures up of Strowman and Omos standing next to each other and be like, can you believe we can get this match? And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't care. It's stupid. I couldn't care any less. No disrespect to Braun. I like Braun. I've never been a big fan of Omos to begin with. His run with AJ was okay at times. But that's at best it was okay at times.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I couldn't give less of a shit about that match. So like that one even takes away from some of the excitement. But the Logan match, like you just said, it's the money one that draws it in. I'm with you. I would much rather see another Drew Roman match. Like a match is going to actually where it's something where like I can sit there and be like, all right, I mean, he probably won't, but there's a good chance Drew could win this match like he did at Clash at the Castle. I don't think there is less than a 0% chance in my mind that Logan Paul wins that match unless it's by disqualification. That's how Logan wins that match is, not Sammy, because I know Sammy doesn't go to Saudi Arabia. But if Solo, I think can go with him because I know whichever Uso has a DUI, I don't think he's allowed to travel internationally either because of the DUI. So whoever's with him, I think if he gets caught, I don't know the difference between the two, to be honest. I can never tell the two apart because I'm an asshole. I know their names, but if you put them together and told me to tell me which one is which, it would take me a little while, and I might eventually get there. But
Good day, sir.
Exactly.
There you go. Can't tell them apart. Yeah, it's building up to be a great pay-per-view. Do you really have to promote this? I mean, they already made bank off of it. I mean, yes, it would be nice to get the views, but then again, it's on Peacock. Who the hell cares? We're not going to know. The Nielsen ratings isn't going to come out and it's going to say Crown Jewel did the best as an NFL game on Sunday, afternoon. I think you don't really have to sell it, but for me, I want it. I want them to sell it. Maybe they do. I mean, it's November 8th, so it's October 26th. So it's coming close. Maybe they do it this week or next week. Again, Saturday afternoon. Yeah. I'm all for it. Lashley,
I think
Brock,
the hope is that the Logan Paul name value will convince people to be like, you know what, maybe I'll finally drop that $5 on a Peacock subscription so I can watch that event. Because I mean, like you said, but the Peacock thing, it kind of muddies it. Like I don't know if it's a thing where it's like, oh well, we got 60,000 new customers this week, and of those 60,000 new customers, 40,000 tuned into Crown Jewel, so like you guys get a better cut because of that.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
they got the money. They got the money, right? Like
exactly.
They don't care about the views as long as it's money. Yeah, and even the Peacock money is what I'm saying. Yeah. They don't care about the views. NBC paid them. That's it. They have their own little section on Peacock, their own little tab. You click there. I mean, that's what you want from any. If it's UFC, I feel like they're trying to do that with ESPN Plus, but you have to pay a shit ton of money. For WWE, like you said, you pay the $5, you watch Logan Paul, you cancel it the next month. I mean, it's easy as that. And that's what they're hoping for. Again, the views, they don't care. Nelson, Mr. Nelson, Mr. Meltzer, whoever, reviews the ratings, they're not going to come out the next week and say, Crown Jewel didn't do that well. They don't give a shit. They got that money. That's all they care about. Yeah. All right, brother, let's get to the last topic of the night. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
This storyline, this feud, I just don't know. I'm so intrigued just because I love Ali. I love Seth frickin' Rollins. And Austin Theory is my boy. I've been saying it since day one. I loved everything they've done with him. Maybe not his NXT run, and I understand the whole thing with Seth, the first run. He had some issues with, I don't know, something, right? Something similar to Riddle, similar to No Chin Dude, whatever his name is, Ellsworth. I think it was all just into rumors. I think it was just, we didn't know the facts. And I think now the facts are out. Nothing really happened. Again, I don't know. But I think that's where people lost interest. But for me, since Evolve days, I mean, you've been to a few of those events. He's just an ass kicker. Yeah, he's a pretty boy. Yeah, he's got more abs than I will ever have. He's a good talker, too. I mean, this kid is... I don't want to say the next John Cena because no one is going to be the next John Cena. That's just like saying, oh, he looks like Flair. He acts like Flair. He's an ex-Flair. It's like, no, come on. There's only one Flair, but I'm going off. I'm going off here. Yeah. Bring me back in. Reel me back in. Are you excited? Are you interested in this? Because for me, it's like Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins, banger, 2 matches. He's gone. Now he's in this feud with Ali. Are they trying to elevate Ali? I was talking off camera before. It seems like Ali was like a Dolph Ziggler. And now I think he's no longer a Dolph Ziggler. That's not a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying I think that he is his own man, and I think that maybe it's time to push him. I don't know. Maybe he's just the next man up, and he's been complaining enough a long time. That's his new gimmick. I mean, that's in reality too. But shut me up here. Let's hear it, Keith. What do you got?
Well, listen, I mean, anything and everything is better than retribution. So he's already got steps in the right direction. I am really, really, really hoping that this is the beginning of a at least like a decent mid card push for Ali, because the dude has deserved it since he was wearing the light up mask and had the Iron Man ball in his hand. Like the guy's fucking crazy talented, so good. I was never a huge fan of like his heel stuff. What was it? The last crown jewel, I think it was, when he had the match with Mansoor before Mansoor got put in MMM.
That just seemed like they were throwing that down our throats.
That was a great match. It was a great match. Don't get me wrong there. But I just heel Ali is weird. Like he's just he needs to be. He did. I don't know if you remember. He had like that whole like span of time for a minute when he was like first starting to be like, I'm not being used enough. He did a couple like they were almost like YouTube live like self promo things where he was just like it was just him in like a jacket just like walking around Chicago being like, I used to be a cop here. And like it was almost like the modern version of like the Make a Difference Fat 2 of Rikishi way back in the day. Like just being like just walking the streets and being like, I'm a tough dude, I was a cop, like I need to see a change in the world and blah blah blah. And then somehow that turned into Retribution, which was miserable. But I really hope it's the beginning of a push for him. I love him. I think he's crazy underutilized. Putting him with Rollins is only going to give bangers left and right.
Yeah, but didn't they do this similar back in the day when Vince was in charge? I feel like he had some sort of... Didn't he go one-on-one? I just feel like I've seen this before, right? With Seth and Ali.
So they probably have. Ali's definitely had a lot of that stop-start, especially under Vince, and I think it's because, this isn't me. I don't want to be canceled on this one because this is not me saying this at all, but I think it's because Vince was just like, oh, well, you're a foreigner. They don't believe you. Vince is the same. Like that's the same thing he said about fucking Cesaro being like, well, you're Swiss. People don't get behind you. And it's like, are you kidding? Everybody listen to the goddamn crowd. Everybody wants him to do stuff. And it's kind of the same way with Ali. Like the crowd loves him. He crushed it. The feud with him and Cedric Alexander back when 205 Live was a thing. One was the heart and one was the soul. You could give me $100. I couldn't tell you which one was actually the heart and which one was the soul, but that was their whole thing. Those matches they had were killer, and the crowd ate it the fuck up. He's great. Yeah. Him and Rollins are going to do good stuff. I'm hoping, because it's not Vince in charge anymore, and Triple H doesn't seem to be as much of a racist as Vince actually sounds like he is. This will be a nice sustained push for him, and that's going to be great. Him and Rollins are going to tear it up. Him and Theory are going to have great matches. I still love Theory also. I went off last time about how great of a fucking heel he was when he was the Evolve champion. It was killer. I would love to see him more that way. He was like so much more of a dick when he was the Evolve champion, and I get that like that's that indie thing. He's got to be a little more cleaned up for TV, but I would love to see him get back to that intensity again. But like right now with him, I feel like Theory like he confuses the shit out of me. Like I don't know where they're going with this. I had kind of said before, I would love to see it be a thing where like he's like the first person that like his Money in the Bank contract like expires. Not like he cashes in and loses, just like he kind of like, have him hold it like until Money in the Bank when he's up for that year, and he goes to cash it in that night, and on the way out, whoever he's feuding with at the time just straight knocks his ass out. And just he's out cold, never gets to cash it in. They go away. The next night on Raw, he's just like, so listen, I mean, I know, like, start Raw off with him talking to Triple H, just being like, listen, I know it's only supposed to be a year, but like, I went to go cash in, and Triple H is just like, no, like, we have a new Mr. Money in the Bank. He's out there. He's right here. So no, like, you're beat. I'm sorry. And then have that be a thing where like he can still have like as a heel character, have him hold on to and still be cocky, like I was the youngest Mr. Money in the Bank, and have them come back and just like, yeah, but you never fucking cashed it in, and build his ass back up from there. Give him another mid-card title run. Give him another give him the Intercontinental belt when Gunther decides he's done with it and wants to move on, and just doesn't drop it to him, just places it down and says somebody else can take this now because I'm done.
Yeah.
Give him another mid-title run to get up there. Maybe give him a tag title run. Have him amend ways with Johnny. Bring the Way back. I liked the Way. I mean, I know he was like a just, borderline
doofus.
Yeah. He was like, totally dumb then, but like I could see a refined Theory with like a turning Gargano heel once all the afterglow of us being happy he's back wears out. Turn Gargano heel again, put them back together. Give them a tag title run. Let him collect those belts to get him to that point of just being
belt
like
collector.
Exactly. Not going full blown Omega that way, but separate all these runs out. Give him another US one. Give him an Intercontinental one. Give him a tag belt run at some point, so then he can get to that point of just being like, not only was I youngest Money in the Bank, I've won everything else. I need that big one now.
Yeah.
And then maybe that goes to a face turn for him to just be like, I have gotten everything else. Let me get there now. Help me get there.
Well, for me, I may be looking too far into this, but I feel like Seth works with people that people don't like. Matt Riddle, I feel like he's not that popular.
Yeah.
Ali, he complains a lot. Maybe I'm looking too far into this, and I most likely am. And then and Austin or Theory, I guess Austin Theory now. I don't know. I don't feel like people like him backstage. But again, forget about the politics. Put this in front of me. I am going to watch. I love Seth Rollins. I love Ali. Mustafa, Ali. Yep. Seth or Austin. I mean, I will never say anything bad about him. It's entertainment at its finest. Yeah. I just don't know why. Maybe Seth has his say. Maybe he can do what he wants. I don't know. I mean, after the interview with, who was it? Ariel Helwani. I feel like he said a lot of shit that, we were feeling and that we saw, but we never, they never talked about.
Yeah.
And voila, he got the United States Championship. I don't know, but I'm all for it. I love these guys.
Yeah.
Will it happen? Will an Austin Theory go one-on-one with Seth for the title? Ali, I don't know, but I'm interested. They have me at that,
Yeah.
That's all you can say.
I would take like a 6-month storyline of the three of them just like fighting each other in different pairs, back and forth until, just trading the U.S. title back and forth and everything.
And there you go. That's another thing.
I'm into that.
NXT, now he's in this storyline with Ali and Seth. I mean, what are they doing? We know he was, Vince's,
his little lapdog.
Yeah, his little boy. I don't know what I was going to say.
Little boy works.
Yeah, but yeah, it just I don't know if Vince knew what to do with Austin Theory, and I don't know if Trips knows what to do with Theory. I don't know, but
I mean, I saw the whole
what are
thing.
You gonna do?
Like Dom just said. I mean, I saw the whole thing that there's been like some rumors going around that he might potentially cash it in to get the NXT championship, and like.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was kind of just like, really?
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I guess that's a way. Because I also feel, especially after Halloween Havoc, I feel like they're getting to that point with Braun again. Like I always talk about, they are with like Jade with the TBS championship, where it's just like he's turned back so many top level dudes there. Like when, and who, and why, and how does he drop that belt? So if they are going to do it this way, where Theory decides to kind of, backtrack really and go down to NXT, and after whatever the next, pay-per-view is for the I think they're bringing back takeovers, whatever the next NXT big one is.
Yeah.
Breaker has a match with, fucking Von Wagner or whatever and retains it, but it's a hard fought match, or somebody beats him up afterwards or some shit. And then Theory rolls out. Cool. Yeah, it keeps Braun looking strong, so he doesn't look like a chump, but he loses the title, and they can call him up because they want to anyway, and that's fine. I don't know.
It's a downgrade. It's a downgrade.
It is, and it gets to that point like you're muddying the waters too much, because like I know it was way more of a Vince mindset of it at the time, but like they've tried so hard to like move away from like NXT as like this third own like brand, like its own entity, And especially, and you've seen it so much more lately with like Nakamura going down for the fight, Nakamura, Raquel went back, Rhea went back for a match. Truth was just over there, Natalia, exactly. Like all these dudes that are kind of flowing back and forth. Styles was there for a minute. Outside of the actual, just like you're going back to developmental, like Apollo and different, those kind of scenarios. Like that's fine. I don't disagree with that one. But like they're kind of making it. It's almost like they're trying to make it more integrated into what WWE is, and it's almost just like, well, you gotta. It's money in the waters, like I was saying, because it's like if it's it's got to be one or the other. It's either got to be they're your developmental system, and then you have your main roster, or they have to be like they are this whole homogenous like mix of like or they're three separate brands. Like you have to really solidify that brand split of like there's Raw, there's SmackDown, there's NXT, and never shall the three meet or something like that to make it more of a situation there. Because like as it is. One of the last interviews Triple H did with Helwani, it was when he was just like, when AEW was beating them in the ratings, they were going head to head. He's like, oh, they beat our developmental. He said that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it being a developmental brand, but it's an issue then where it's just like, hey, this like major thing that this person won on a main roster show, they're now going back to our developmental to cash it in because we have booked everything on our main roster too strong to make it like a good storyline anywhere else up there. And that's where I think the problem is. No one believes Theory cashing in on Roman Reigns.
Well, that's it. I said it last episode. It's hard to believe that because, quite frankly, I don't think it would ever happen. I cannot see that. And even though it's a weak loss and he can come back from that, that's not Roman Reigns at this point right now. That's not what he's all about. He pins mother effers and that's it. He walks out. No cheap losses, no cheap wins. I mean, if he does have a win like that, it's more heelish. It's like what we saw at what the hell is that event called? Clash at the Castle. Yeah. And that was more of a entertainment aspect, the ring and all that. But I'm getting into it. Man, this was fun. Any last words? Go ahead.
This is my last one. Yeah, it's my last one. Because the only thing I can really see outside of, like I said, I mean, there's a part of me that just thinks it would be kind of hilarious and like could go to its own story of having him hold the contract too long and he's just disqualified for it or whatever.
Yep.
The only other really good scenario I could see coming out of it is I'm convinced, and I feel like a lot of other people are too, that Cody's coming back for the Rumble. Cody's winning the Rumble, and then Cody is going to go to WrestleMania and he's going to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So the only other way out of this is you have the two of them lead from the end of Rumble to WrestleMania. Cody and Roman are just chucking fucking barbs, Roman throws all of the bloodline at Cody and they beat him to piss, Seth comes back at some point as some sort of, just giving them like the business. Have Cody really fight through it. Have us all be like, yes, he's going to take it. It's going to be so good. Oh my God. And then we get to WrestleMania and he fucking does it. And we're all like, oh, and the red, white, and blue confetti and all this comes down. And then it's just boom, A-Town down. And he's out, wails him with the fucking case like 3 more times, really beats his ass down, cashes in, takes it off him.
Yeah.
Nuclear. Like, oh my God! Like,
and it's believable too because
H-bombs inside of Chernobyl heat. Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
They'll just, and at that point, then it's something where you can give Theory a little bit of a run, let him hold it for like a couple months, cheating to win here and there, pulling out all the stops he's got her to do it, and then have because then it's Cody gets to shine because he beat Roman, and then had to get his ass beat again hard to lose it on this cheap Money in the Bank cash in, and then he can win it back, give him his run. Maybe that's how they split the belts again, too. Cody wins them, and then Cody wins. They decide to split them off again. Cody wins one of them. Roman gets the other one back, or whoever gets the other one back. I feel like it probably has to be Roman, but I feel like he's due for some time off, too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, all that sounds great.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, Cody, he's been gone for so long, I forgot about him. I mean,
that's the one.
Insert him in the picture right there. Boom. End of the story. That's what that's what needs to happen. I can see Triple H and Cody. I don't know what the deal is there. Maybe it's all entertainment. Maybe it's all, maybe it's not a shoot. I don't know, but it seems like there is some kind of heat there. Having Theory win right there, that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Keith.
Yeah.
Any last words before we shut it down?
Let's go Birds. Let's go Phillies. Let's go Phillies first, then we go Birds.
Yeah, Birds have it easy. They got Pittsburgh and Houston.
Yeah.
Yep, back to back.
Not too worried about the next two, but
no.
We're getting a little dicey after that.
Nope,
but
I think so, right? Who's after that? Do you know? Yep. I do not.
No, I'm saying dicier because I know they're like the next two, and I'm not too worried about them. And then the rest are starting to be ones that are still not too big of worries, but bigger worries than those two.
Yeah, you got the Packers, the Titans. Yeah. Let's see, the Colts. No.
I'm most worried about when we go to Dallas to play them with Dak back.
Yeah,
because Dak's a prick, and we always fucking lose to them in Dallas with fucking Dak. Hell yeah, Dom. Let's go Phillies. That's what I'm saying.
Let's do it one more time. Just for you, Dom.
Yeah.
Phillies looking for a quick response. Hoskins hammers the ball. Left center field. Reese Hoskins. Redemption again.
Oh, man. Can't wait, baby. Friday night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right? All primetime games?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Nice.
7:30?
Nice.
7:30 maybe?
Yes, sir. That's how we're going to spend our Friday night. Sunday, we got a big day. Me, you, and Danny are going to see some live wrestling at the ECW, former ECW arena. Can't wait, man. It's going to be a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Keith, talk to you next time, brother. You can find us on Twitter at the UWPOD and Instagram at UWPodcast. Peace.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Like that blood up and say!
Check us out on the web at uwpod.com.
You've got mail.
Or send us an email. info@uwpod.com. Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Nobody does it better.